Gaming has gotten incredibly expensive in 2026. So today we're trying some actually affordable gaming gear under 250 bucks, starting with this, the Nex Playground. Now this thing was all over the place last year. In fact, this actually outsold the Xbox Series S and X, if you can believe that, on Amazon over the holiday season.
No, I believe it.
The pitch here is that this is a device that is designed to almost kind of bring back those old school Wii vibes. It is a lot of like, you know, Fruit Ninja. Did my phone just fling out of the back of my pocket? Yeah, it did. Now, we paid, I think, exactly $250 for this, right?
We paid $240.
240 bucks. Now, this used to be like, I think, $200 or less. However, they've seen price hikes. Bust a move. Oh, I like it. It's got a little camera sticking out. Ooh, kind of dense. Like, actually surprisingly heavy. There was this whole thing in like the mid 2010s where everyone decided they wanted to make a $100 little micro console and that was gonna be the future. Turned out that that was not, in fact, the future. I mean, it's so simple. I assume on the inside, this thing's basically just a glorified smartphone. HDMI, power adapter, and that's it. And the remote. Now, this is not a controller. It is a remote. What the hell? What a weird little, like, it's so long. Why is there a little dingus on it? Does it stay on the camera?
Oh,
you can cover the camera when you're not using it.
Wow.
It's actually like a nice, delightful little piece of hardware, but is it actually any fun to play? So we've got it plugged in now, so it's telling me to use the cable provided in the box. Here's some stuff our lawyers want to tell you. We don't share your stuff without your permission. I don't know if that's legally binding, but sure, let's go for it. Avoid clothes with patterns, long sleeves, or colors that match your walls. This is the rare time I'm not wearing some absurdly annoying looking shirt. Cool, great. We'll see how robust it is. I hope it's not that finicky, because you remember like when you're using like Kinect and stuff? Kinect was actually good. It wasn't just a camera, it actually had like a number of sensors and stuff. Oh my God, hi. It's me. Punch the balls, punch the balls, punch the balls, punch the balls. So we have a starter pack which has Miramma, Bluey, Bowling, Starry, Home Run Heroes, Dora. Starting to get the idea this might be meant for children. Ah, here we go. So here's the thing that a lot of people criticize the Nex Playground for. It comes with a few games. It also has the Play Pass. This is essentially their version of like, you know, like Xbox Game Pass or whatever, but you can't buy games. You can only sign up for the Play Pass. Is it a yearly subscription? Like, how does the Play Pass actually work?
That'll be $89 for a year.
Oh.
Or $49 for 3 months.
What the hell math is that? So you're not only paying $240 for the actual system itself, but another $90 a year just to subscribe to the games. Let's see what happens if I don't buy those games and I just play the stuff that's included. Let's do Fruit Ninja, because that feels like the obvious one, right? Don't move my hands, don't move my hands. Ah, I don't remember if Fruit Ninja was ever on Kinect, but I feel like I've done this version in the arcade before. So some stuff, fruit!
Oh.
Oh no! That's actually not bad. I want to try Starry, even though this is gonna get us copyright claimed. Rhythm games feel like what's obviously you're meant to do with this, right? A little DDR action, except it uses my upper body. Do I want to learn or do I just want to listen to Imagine Dragons? Can I not do either? Apologies, friends, for the copyrighted music we're about to play. We're just gonna have to change it to not copyrighted music. Performance seems not great. Oh, dude, it's like freaking lagging. What, wait, okay, I probably should have done the tutorial. I just stepped over, I see. I will freely admit, I am definitely not the target audience for something like this. This is not like a hardcore gaming console. This is designed as a toy that lives sort of under your TV, that's, you know, for like party games and that kind of thing. I'll say though that the pricing is a lot of money. I don't know that I want to pay $90 a year for Brainy Inc. I mean, maybe I do, but I'm not gonna find out. Who wants to pay a subscription for your games? Not this guy, except Xbox Game Pass sometimes. But may I present to you the Trimui Brick. I feel like through various like Temu and Amazon videos, we've tried a lot of little emulators. And I will tell you, they've gotten incredibly good over the last few years. This one was below $100, right, Alex?
$80.
$80. Your thoughts on emulation aside and how you source your ROMs. I keep all my games manually dumped. So there's a 3.2-inch IPS display. It has a metal back shell, RGB lighting effect. Dude, that's actually really small. I have huge hands for context. While it's not gonna be in this video properly, this is the Analog Pocket. Generally speaking, my favorite sort of Game Boy style emulator. Look at how much bigger it is than the Brick. The reason this is not in the video, it is technically $250. It's just usually out of stock and it's been around for a few years. Buttons, not bad. Oh, actually, it's kind of interesting.
Oh,
The analog pocket died. Oh, it does come with a micro SD card, which I'm sure is pretty populated for me. So we had some LEDs and actually, wow, there's a lot here. Woo, wow, that actually looks really bright. So you've got classic games, Castlevania, Bomberman, nostalgic games. I'm not familiar with this interface. What are we gonna search for to make sure, of course, it's not on here? How about Pokemon? There's no Pokemon on here, good, glad.
so the processor is a quad-core ARM Cortex A53.
So fairly weak. I've got Crash Bandicoot right now, let's give it a try. Wait. This is the Game Boy Advance version of Crash? I mean, the screen looks fantastic. In fact, it's almost a little too bright on camera. Performance looks great. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it's Game Boy Advance, right? You have PPSSPP, okay. Ooh, this might be too much for the PSP. Also, I'm realizing that with only a D-pad, I'm very limited in the kind of games I do want to play. I mean, it seems to run okay, but that's not actually it. Let's maybe try a PS1 game. Ace Combat, let's go. Oh, wow. Speaker's actually not bad. This plays really well. In fact, I would almost say it almost plays smoother than the PS1. This thing is pretty damn rad for like 80 bucks. Buttons feel good, the screen's fantastic. You are probably gonna wanna be a little bit limited in the kind of games you play on this, but honestly, this might be like my favorite little emulator if we were gonna ignore the next one I'm about to show you at least. May I present to you, my friends, the AYN Thor.
You're Thor?
I am Thor. The Thor is probably the most exciting, I don't even want to call it an emulator handheld because this is a full-on Android device. Now, we are cheating a little bit because this was actually featured on Mystery Tech recently with Kyle. You can go check that video out, but it is meant to be much more so like a kind of DS or 3DS style dual screen emulator. So from the outside, like it doesn't feel amazing, like it's kind of like sort of like cheapy plastic, but it actually has active cooling, and that's because this thing actually has some real performance. Remind me again, what's the spec? Because this is a much more powerful handheld.
This is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
That's a flagship chip from just a couple of years ago. And one of the downsides with this one is that, the brick came preloaded, ready to go. This is a little bit more of an advanced device because it actually requires some setup. So I believe the top display is 16:9 if I remember right. The bottom was 4:3, but they're both OLED. So you have almost reminiscent of Switch style sticks. So they're kind of sunken in so it actually closes. And because it's running Android, you can actually play games that are designed just as Android apps and games too. Alex, what's the price of a device like this?
So there's like 5 different versions of this. The very, very cheapest is $250 now. We bought kind of like the second to highest tier.
The Pro.
And we bought that for $250 basically.
The Lite version, I believe, just has mostly just less performance, right? That's the main thing it's missing.
Yeah.
I think that this is powerful enough to run RPCS3, right? Actually, like PS3 emulation.
I'm not gonna say that it's gonna run perfectly, obviously.
Why don't we play some Pokemon XD Gala Darkness? Why not? Almost all of these emulators need a little bit of coaxing. As you can see, I've loaded up my game and it's running on the bottom display. There we go. Okay, I did it.
Yay.
The speakers, and especially these OLEDs, are phenomenal. Dang, dude, that's actually properly smooth. I've never played Coliseum or Gale of Darkness on this before. This feels like it's a puzzle. I need to figure out how to not die immediately. He's gonna rain dance, so I need to sunny day, right? Okay, come on, you got it, my boy. Ah! There we go. I am Pokemon Master. And the AYN Thor is friggin' rad. Is it cheating to include this in a video when I'm talking about 250 items? Maybe. But I would say that the Lite version of this does offer a lot of the same sort of features at 250 bucks. And let's be honest, by the time you watch this video, half these items might have already seen price hikes. It's just what's happening at this point. If you want a emulator that's gonna handle sort of like lighter weight things, like the Trimui Brick is fantastic, 2 thumbs up. If, however, you wanna play stuff that's a little bit more modern, this does technically have the horsepower to at least give it a fair shot. On the emulator side, I'm feeling good. But who wants to play old games? I want to play new games.
How new?
Well, not that new. We only have $250. Now, if you're looking for a name brand Sony or Xbox or Nintendo handheld, your options at this point under $250 are almost non-existent. However, there are a couple, and one of which would be the PlayStation Portal. Now, this is a very nebulous inclusion in this list. Because not only while this used to be $200, it's now $250. It's not really a standalone game console. So if you're unfamiliar, the Portal, essentially it looks like a handheld, but there's no like performance on the inside. It is entirely reliant on streaming. The primary use of the Portal is to use it alongside your PS5, so you can stream games directly from your PS5 to the Portal. The other use for the Portal is cloud streaming, which is a thing you don't need a PS5 to use. And I will say that this is actually a fantastic piece of hardware to use. So it's essentially a DualSense with a giant tablet stuck to the middle. It sucks because this is like the price that you used to pay to get like a PSP. But at this point, that's not happening. Let's play some Ghost of Yotei. Wait, oh, is this? It wants me to buy it.
Oh, I remember.
Is this the wrong account? It's also frozen.
That's fun.
PS5 is connected to, right here, connected via Ethernet for the best results. I think the PS5 fell asleep. It's off! The PS5 crashed. Great, don't you? Yep, it's doing the angry beep. It is usually better than this, but it's just bugging. Assuming that this is a smooth experience, which normally it's better than this. Help me out here, Alex. The Portal itself costs now $250.
Yes.
The actual subscription, you need the top tier of PlayStation Plus.
That is $20 a month or $160 a year.
The performance and the quality level of it is pretty good, but you'll see, I mean, there's definitely latency, right? Like, again, this is like the best case scenario. So right now, the PS5 is on my local network, it is plugged in via Ethernet, and it is like playable, but it's playable for the kind of game that you would normally play at 30 FPS. I mean, I'm not dropping a lot of frames, but it definitely does not feel, oh yeah, now we're dropping frames. I just wish it wasn't so reliant on the honestly not very good Wi-Fi that's built in. If you really like the idea of a Portal, I'll be honest with you, you can just take your DualSense, pair it to your phone, and use remote play that way. It's almost like, it's exactly what I'm about to suggest you to do, isn't it? Well, may I present to you the GameSir X5 Lite. Now, full disclosure, while this video is not sponsored by GameSir, we have done some sponsorships with GameSir in the past over on our This Is channel. The idea with this, and again, you can really sub this out for a bunch of other options, is that your phone does, I don't know, a whole lot. It not only watches beautiful Austin Evans videos, emphasis on the beauty. Your phone has not only games that you can play locally, but also cloud streaming, and usually your phone's gonna have a more powerful Wi-Fi radio than something like that's built into the Portal. And the real advantage here with this is that this is one of the more higher quality handheld controller options that are certainly not that expensive. Just right off the rip, Alex, how much do we pay for the GameSir X5?
This is by far our cheapest item at $35.
Now this does say it technically is designed for Android. However, my understanding, and we're gonna find out in a second, is that it also works on iOS because it just shows up as a sort of just mobile controller.
Yeah.
So it does have Hall effect sticks, pretty solid for 30 bucks. You have a USB-C port on the bottom for pass-through charging. Now this is not as full-featured as something like a Backbone, which also has an aux jack. For 30, 35 bucks, I'm not complaining too much about that. It feels decent. Maybe I wish there was a little bit more travel on the buttons. Wow, that thing is freaking big as hell. What I will do is pair it with the ultimate gaming phone, an iPhone Air.
You mean the thing that overheats like crazy?
No, it gets a little warm. So instead of like having like a really like rigid sort of grip, it's like this sort of these like rubber little like kind of fingers. And the USB port also, as you can see, it tilts. I like that a lot because especially with like a phone like the iPhone Air, which is a little bit thinner than normal, the port doesn't go in all the way straight because it's not expecting it to be so flat. That actually feels pretty good. And the light lights up. Why don't we play a little bit of Control, shall we, my friends?
Wow, Control with a controller.
If you have an iPhone and you have never played Control, it is absolutely worth $5. Look at this, man. Look at how freaking good Control looks. And you know what? Those Hall sticks do feel really smooth. Obviously, if you're pixel peeping, this is not quite as nice looking as something like the PS4, but I'll be honest, like, it does not look bad at all. So again, we're paid 35 bucks, so don't expect it to, you know, have a bunch of crazy bells and whistles here. But as far as a controller, this sort of works smoothly on iOS and Android. I guess let me be very honest with you. We're looking at a lot of different items for this video. If you don't already own a controller for your phone, that should be your first stop. And especially with a phone like this, like it's still lightweight enough that I can just kind of just chill and game. Not to say that the whole point of my video is buy a controller for your phone, but you should buy a controller for your phone. Hey, everyone remember 5 seconds ago when I gave some very practical consumer advice? Not to say that the whole point of my video is buy a controller for your phone, but you should buy a controller for your phone.
You know, quote unquote practical.
Okay, well, how about buying a Switch Lite?
Well, I mean, that's really not practical.
I will say that for many years, I was the world's biggest Switch Lite fan. At 200 bucks, this was the best and cheapest way to get into the Switch and arguably to gaming as a whole. However, I will say, as much as I love the Switch Lite, it is about at the end of its rope. This is a Switch Lite that if you want to buy today, actually now costs $230. So this also saw a price hike.
That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to get cheaper.
I know. And there are still Switch 1 games being released, but I think everyone has very, very quickly decided that the Switch 2 is the way forward. The amount of games that are actually coming out for the original Switch, I think is gonna dwindle very fast. Now I'll say that if you're willing to be a little bit of an adventurous fella, you can actually do a lot of mods to a Switch Lite. So we built one where we swapped it out with an OLED display, which made a huge difference to the picture quality. The other thing I would recommend is to just buy a used one, which is really what I think almost everyone should do. I mean, we're talking like 100 bucks. I mean,
yeah, somewhere in that region.
If you just care about playing it portably, which for me, a Switch is almost always a portable sort of console, then the Switch Lite is still my favorite way to play. Like one of the things I like about the Switch Lite, you can toss this thing in a bag and kind of forget it's there. Well, you know what I'm really gonna say, right? I wish that they would bring out a Switch 2 Lite. The whole reason why we're doing this video is just, if you're a gamer, you're getting squeezed. But that's one of the things that I do want to try to highlight is that there are still options. And there's some unique options out there that I think a lot of people might not normally consider, but might be worth a look. Like, you have to follow me down. I was gonna pop up. Like this, the Evercade. The Evercade VS-R. There's a couple of versions of the Evercade. It is a true throwback to old school gaming devices. So the Evercade actually uses real game cartridges. Now the games you're gonna play on the Evercade are largely older titles from Amazon. We paid, how much for this again?
We paid $120.
I don't think it comes with any games, and I know that when we bought just one game here, it was not cheap. Wow, the controller is huge. What the hell?
Hey man, nostalgia.
You can tell it's definitely designed for old school games because it's literally just a D-pad, ABXY, a start and select, and a center button. And then we have the Evercade itself. Oh, that's kind of weird. So it's got micro USB? No, micro USB?
It was released in 2021, so yeah.
Oh, it's old. I didn't realize it's been around for that long. Oh, okay. You have 2 different cartridge slots. I wonder, is that because you can just kind of easily swap between games? Let me get this thing set up, and we'll see if spending $100 and something plus games, which might be a little bit expensive, is actually worth it. Okay, yes, I would love to agree to the EULA. I remember I used to do that every time I plugged in my Super Nintendo. Apparently, this one's coming in August of 2025.
What day is today?
What day is today? Let's say I want to get Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. How to buy. So instead of downloading it, you just buy the physical cartridge. Can I download? Oh, I can play Old Towers. So you get a free monthly game with this? No subscription needed?
Yes. Now I do believe that it's like just the 1 game a month.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, cool, got it. Ah, okay. You know what this reminds me of? The old puzzles in Pokemon, like Gold and Silver. Why don't we actually try, because we did actually purchase a physical cartridge. The one and only Duke Nukem collection that not only has Duke Nukem Time to Kill in Advance, but Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Ooh, oh, I like that cartridge, dude. It reminds me of like a chunky like Game Boy or like a really shrunk down like Genesis cart or something. Yes, perfect. So our games are here.
The one that, okay.
What game did you think we were gonna play? What a intro for a video game. Yeah! Is that Linus Tech Tips? Oh. Bro, go up. Oh, we can go into water. That's water? You know what? Let's play Duke Nukem Advance. I think that seems like maybe a game that actually is designed for a D-pad. Wow, that looks balls. Okay, you know what? This is also not for me. Let's try the last game here, which is the one I think I most want to try. Oh, okay. Well, why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? Oh, we can go into Bootylicious. Let's go in and investigate. Oh no, okay. Sorry, I'll leave Bootylicious alone for a minute. Well, what do we think about this? because the hardware itself is actually decent. I don't know if the emulation is incredible. I've never played some of these games on the original hardware, but I mean, it seems broadly okay. But my bigger question is, how much are the games?
For the one that you're holding in your hand right now, we paid $30.
It's a lot of money. It very much leans toward the like, I miss playing the Amiga and Commodore 64 kind of gang. And maybe not to call everyone who likes those games old, but if you had a Commodore 64, no offense, but if you want this for the nursing home, it's all yours. I'm curious, what do you think about the $250 and less gaming gear that we found? Is there anything that you wish we would have included? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, my friends, I'm gonna go get acquainted with Land of the Babes again. Once we cut the camera, of course. I don't freaking creep.